Thank you to Cricut for sponsoring today's video. There's nothing better than whipped cream cheese. Hello friends, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. I am so excited to create a fall tablescape with you all today. So I've laid out all of the items I'm going to use to create a cozy fall or Thanksgiving tablescape. Now, if you've seen my fall home tour and my fall decorate with me videos, I kept my table very simple for every day. And I have this big arrangement that has these beautiful oak stems in it. So I'm gonna use those, but I'm gonna take away the space and we're gonna transform this table. I'm gonna be making some DIY place cards to create a personalized touch on our tablescape. So more on that in just a bit. And I'm also gonna share my favorite easy go-to fall appetizers. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna head downstairs, pull out my Cricut machine. It's a rainy, overcast, kind of gloomy day, and it's the perfect day to do some crafting. So let's go downstairs and create some custom fall place cards together. I am so excited to create some place cards for my table setting using my Cricut machine. So I'm gonna walk you guys through how I'm making these, how I designed them in Cricut Design Space. I'm gonna show you how you can use a Cricut machine to create a personalized touch to all of your projects this holiday season. So let's go ahead and get started. I've got everything set up downstairs in my office. For this project, I'm using my Cricut Maker machine. It has this really beautiful rose gold finish, and it has lots of options on different materials that you can use for your project. So today I'm going to be using the pin feature to write out names on my place cards in a little fall design, and then it's also going to cut the place card for me as well using the little blade. I have a Cricut mat. This is a light grip, but you could use any of them. I have lightweight cardstock. This is the place card and what it's going to look like, and I'll show you how I designed it in Cricut Design Space. And then I also just have a black pin. That is everything that I need: the cardstock, mat, pin, blade, and machine, and you're good to go. Here is my project in Cricut Design Space. I picked a rectangular shape to use to cut out the place card, and I set that to cut. Then I also found this really cute border. This was the design in Cricut Design Space, and I am going to draw that. So I have that set to draw, and then I also added the names for the place cards, and I picked a font that I could draw with. So I added all of those together, and I'm going to group them and then send them to my Maker machine. So after I get everything set the way I like it, I'm gonna come over here and hit make. From here, I'm gonna take a piece of cardstock and lay it on my mat. I'm gonna place this on here, and then I'm going to hit continue, and I'm gonna turn my Cricut machine on. Next, I'm going to load my pin into the machine. In Cricut Design Space, it'll ask what type of material I'm using. I'm gonna hit light cardstock, and then it will get the machine ready to go. Once this light is flashing, it lets me know that it's ready to load my mat. And then once the little Cricut button starts flashing, it'll be ready to do my project. Once it's done, this will flash again. I'll unload the mat. All I have to do is fold it. So cute, and I can make them for all of the different holidays. All right, now I'm gonna make 7 more, and I did all of the designs on one piece of paper. I'm a big fan of Cricut, and I'm so thankful to be working with them today. Cricut Design Space is very user-friendly. There are so many projects already made that you can just plug and go, or you can be creative and create your own. It's so user-friendly that even my 8-year-old is able to make projects with me. He does some t-shirts and cards and just different little crafts, and it's so much fun. Be sure to check Cricut out if you haven't yet. and let me know what project you're making next. All right, let's go head over to the dining room and set our table and get everything nice and cozy for a fall tablescape. For the tablescape, I'm keeping it very simple, but earthy and a little vintage inspired. So I have some candlesticks in different shades of brass and gold that I'm going to put these flameless candles on. I also have these vintage plates that I love. I have these plates as well. I have some brown napkins and some gold chargers and these goblet style glasses. I'm also going to use these stems like I talked about in the beginning, but I'm going to take away the base. So let's go ahead, clear this all off and get started. I have 3 of these oak stems, so I'm going to place them on the table, just laying them on the center. I have a linen runner that I'm just gonna place down first. I'm just gonna try to hide the stems the best that I can, but it's okay if they're showing a little bit. They actually look pretty realistic, so I'm not too worried about it. And I'll just bend the leaves to kind of go up and around. That way they're not totally flat on the table. Okay, now that we have this pretty full, I'm gonna add in my candlesticks. Now I have an array of ivory and white flameless candles. Some of them have batteries, some of them do not. So I need to put these batteries in real quick. I'm also going to sprinkle in some pine cones just to fill in any of the gaps and to try to kind of hide some of the branches a bit as well. So I'm going to place these just all throughout this tablescape, and it'll just add to the natural feel. Now I'm gonna add these gold chargers. I think this being a little more metallic will be pretty for fall and with all of the brown tones. And I do have some gold accents in our dining room, so I think these will go well. I'm just gonna place these at every seat and then we'll layer our plates on top of that. Now I'm gonna add in my plate. So I have the brown floral plate and then this brown little village. I'm going to just layer those one on top of the other. I forgot that I am one dish short, so I think for the ends, I'll switch out this plate here. I'll just add a different salad plate to the ends. Now let's make a cream cheese fig balsamic dip that is perfect as an appetizer before you have a fall meal. So for this recipe, I wouldn't even call this a recipe, you kind of just throw it together. So I need to grab a block of cream cheese and some balsamic glaze. This is the ticket right here. It really does elevate the whole dish without doing anything too fancy. So I like to kind of soften my cream cheese and I will whip it in my KitchenAid mixer for about a minute or two to get nice and fluffy. So I'll heat it in the microwave on a plate for about 20 to 25 seconds. And then I'll throw it into the mixer and let it get nice and whipped. Now I do think that you can buy already whipped cream cheese, so you could also get that. Pour the cream cheese in. This will be the perfect container for our dip. So I'm just gonna get a spatula. Oh, there's nothing better than whipped cream cheese. Okay, I'm gonna get all of this out of here. Okay, I'm just going to put this right into our container and then we will add the balsamic to it. Now, depending on how many people you're planning on serving, you can double, triple this recipe, however many blocks of cream cheese you'd like. Okay, now I'm just going to press it down on the bottom. I'm not gonna make it perfect because we do have to stir in our balsamic glaze. Now I have some balsamic glaze that I'm just going to put just a little bit on. I like to start out pretty mild and then add more to it. So I like to go in kind of a circle and then I'll take a whisk. I wish I had a baby whisk for this, but I don't. So I'm just gonna take my whisk, stick it in, and then just start stirring this up. On top of the cream cheese balsamic mixture, I should have done the glaze in the KitchenAid mixer. I think that would have been just as easy, but that's okay. Kind of made it harder on myself, but you can learn from my mistakes. Now we're gonna take a fig jam and I'm just going to place this on top of the cream cheese. There's something about this fig jam that is just so delicious. Definitely feels like a fall time appetizer. Adds a little bit of sweetness to balance out the balsamic and cream cheese, and it is delicious. So now we are going to roast some pecans. I have some roasted and salted pecans. You can grab any kind of pecans you would like. I didn't realize that these ones were already roasted, but that's okay. We're gonna add just a little bit more to them and get them a little warm. So these are pretty salty already. Since these are bigger pieces, I'm going to chop them up a little bit, put them on our baking sheet, toss some brown sugar on top and some cinnamon, and then roast it for like a minute or two at 400 degrees just to get warm. And then we're gonna place that on top of our dip. While the oven is preheating and I'm waiting on my nuts to roast a little bit. I'm gonna cut up some apple, and this is what we're gonna use for our dip. So I'm just gonna cut some of these up into slices, and then I'll also add graham crackers. Pretzels are really good with this as well. And I have some caramel apple little rollers that I'm going to add on there as well. And we'll arrange a little board together. I'm gonna start with this and see if I need more apples to fill in around the board. All right, now that the pecans are on the dip, I'm just gonna place it on a small board, and I'm gonna arrange the apples and the salted caramel wafers and some graham crackers. And then if I need something to fill in the spaces, I'll also add some cinnamon sticks. This is the fun part, and there is no rhyme or reason. You just have to keep layering and layering and layering. Since there are some gaps, I'm going to fill those in with the pecans and just kind of decorate, if you will. Okay, and to finish it off, I'll just put this little gold leaf knife directly into the dip, and that's it. If you had a bigger board, you could set this little lid on it, or you could just cover it until your guests were there and then you could take it off. But let's give this a little taste test and see how it is. You gotta get a big scoop of the cream cheese and the fig jam and the nuts. That is so good. The apple is my favorite. Let's try it with the graham cracker. I actually haven't tried it with one of these yet. Okay, that's good too. I have had it with pretzels, and that's delicious also. The apples are just so fresh and crunchy. It's so delicious with this. And it's a good alternative to just a caramel apple. This is a little different. It's very unexpected, but delicious. And now I can just put the lid on and stick whatever is left into the fridge, which there probably won't be any. All right, friends, that is it for today's video. Thank you guys for coming along with me decorating our table for fall. It feels so cozy. It makes me want to host a fall dinner party. We are having my daughter's 3rd birthday party, so we'll be hosting family. It won't be a full dinner though. So let me know if you have any big fall dinners planned. Hopefully this tablescape gave you some inspiration. If you want to see more fall decorating, I do have an entire fall 2025 playlist that I will link down below. Also, don't forget to check out Cricut products and machines that I will have linked down below also. I hope you guys have a blessed day, and I'll see you all very soon in my next one. Bye, friends.